Most people think financial freedom starts with a big number. Six figures, $1 million, something so far away it almost feels imaginary. But there's a much smaller number that quietly changes your entire life, and almost no one talks about it. It's not flashy. It won't make you rich overnight, but once you hit it, your relationship with money is never the same. That number is $20,000. Here's why. Think about how money feels when you don't have much of it. Every decision feels heavy. A surprise expense can ruin your week. You're constantly doing mental math. Can I afford this? What if something goes wrong? That's not a budgeting problem. That's a scarcity problem. When you're living close to zero, your brain stays locked in defense mode. You don't think about growth, you think about survival. And survival thinking makes you play small. You stay in jobs you hate. You avoid risks that could improve your life. You say yes when you should say no because you're scared of losing income. But something strange happens when you build a real buffer. When you have roughly 3 to 6 months of expenses saved, which for many people lands around $20,000, the pressure eases. Not because you're wealthy, but because you're no longer fragile. You stop reacting to every little problem. Your mind finally has room to think ahead. And that's where the real shift begins. At this level, money stops being just protection. It starts becoming a tool. You notice opportunities instead of panicking about threats. A better job? You can afford to look. A new skill or course? You can invest in yourself. A smart investment? You can actually participate. This is why people say money makes money, not because of magic, but because options create leverage. And yes, the math starts helping too. Early on, feels painfully slow. Your effort does all the work. But once you build that first solid base, your money joins the team. Returns start to matter. Progress speeds up. Momentum kicks in. What once felt impossible slowly becomes predictable. But here's the part most people miss, and it's more important than the numbers. Saving $20,000 doesn't just change your bank account, it changes who you believe you are. You prove something to yourself. You prove that you can delay gratification, that you can stay consistent, that you can make long-term decisions even when short-term temptation is everywhere. That identity is powerful. Because once you see yourself as someone who controls money instead of being controlled by it, your behavior changes automatically. You stop obsessing over tiny expenses. You focus on big decisions that actually move the needle. Where you live, how you earn, how you invest. And this carries over into your career too. With savings in place, you negotiate differently. You speak up more. You're less afraid of losing a job, which ironically makes you more valuable. You don't need to walk away to benefit. Just knowing you can is enough. But here's the trap. Many people finally reach this milestone and then destroy it. They reward themselves with a car payment, a lifestyle upgrade, a purchase that locks them right back into stress. Don't do that. That first $20,000 isn't a prize, it's the foundation. It's the base that everything else grows from. Once it's in place, life feels lighter, decisions feel calmer, and the future stops feeling scary. You're no longer just getting by, you're building. And that's the real difference between people who stay stuck and people who eventually build wealth. Start with the foundation. Everything else gets easier from there.